a determination by the Speaker has been made. It cannot be a matter over which the Speaker has made a determination.
Thank you, Bwana Clerk. I'm rising on a procedural issue on the issue of election of the Speaker. I want to draw the attention of you, Mr. Clerk, to Standing Order number 5, Standing Order 5, subsection 5, which says that immediately upon close of nomination provided for under paragraph 2, the clerk shall publicize and make available to all senators a list showing of all candidates, qualified candidates for the Speaker, and then B, make available to all senators copies of CVs of the qualified candidates. Mr. Clerk and other senators will confirm that we have not been supplied.
The senator will be heard. Please conclude your.
Yes.
Please conclude.
You have not. The obligation, Mr. Clerk, is on you to circulate to all of us the CVs of all the qualified candidates. A number of us, including myself, Mr. Clerk, have not received these CVs. So I'm moving, Mr. Clerk, that before you proceed with the business of electing the Speaker, so that you give us time to go through the CVs, the business of electing the Speaker be suspended, Clerk, to enable us get copies of all these CVs, go through them before the House can reconvene to undertake this very important task, Bwana Clerk.
Don't appear to see any concern on this side. Let me say that Senator Okongo Mogeni, you are absolutely correct in the observation that you make, and we are very conscious of this obligation and this duty. And we made every effort, the Office of the Clerk made every effort to make available to all senators, to publicize and make available a list showing all qualified candidates. Indeed, we went public in the press and made this available. But additionally, we made this available in this chamber yesterday to senators. We had asked that all senators assemble here. Part of the business of attendance at please, if the Speaker can be heard. The opportunity was availed here, and we had made public and called upon all senators to be present so that we make available in terms of the obligation we have under the Standing Order number 5. That notwithstanding, I am directing that copies be made available at this time to those who do not have. I will not be suspending the sitting, unfortunately. But, honorable senators, the sitting will not be suspended. The copies will nevertheless be made available at this time. They were made available yesterday. I am also asking that, because we have soft copies of this, be sent to the WhatsApp group of the WhatsApp group. Honorable senators, I want to draw your attention. I want to draw your attention to Standing Order number 2. Standing Order number 2, paragraph 2. In these standing orders, whenever a document is required to be made available to senators, the document shall be considered to have been so provided or made available if placed in the senators' pigeonholes or in such other place or availed in such other manner as the Speaker may direct. Indeed, honorable senators, the curriculum vitae have been provided in your gadgets. Order. Point of order. So, honorable senators, let's have some order. The business at hand is far too important, and we will proceed with it. I have made a determination and I have drawn attention to the rules. We made available hard copies yesterday. We have made available soft copies in the gadgets in the chamber. If anyone is not able to access the gadgets in the chamber, our sergeant at arms are available to help you to access them. Additional copies are being provided at this time, so we will proceed now. So, honorable senators, please attention. Honorable senators, order. Having undertaken the business of administration of oath or affirmation of office, we will now be proceeding. Senator Faki. Senator Faki. Senator Faki.
Asante Bwana Katibu. Nimesimama Bwana Katibu kulingana na kanuni namba 22 ya kanuni za Senate kuhusiana na chama ama muungano wa vyama ambao ndio wengi katika bunge hili. Mheshimiwa Spika, swala hili lina umuhimu kwa sababu kura itakapopigwa itapigwa na miungano miwili. Kuna muungano wa Kenya Kwanza na muungano wa Azimio. Mheshimiwa Spika, tumesema ni wazi kwamba muungano wa Azimio ulikuwa unajumuisha chama kinachojulikana kama UDM. Na hivi sasa Mheshimiwa Spika, chama cha UDM tumeona kimekaa kwa upande wa Kenya Kwanza, na ni chama ambacho kisheria ya vyama vya kisiasa ni chama ambacho kilikuwa katika muungano wa Azimio, na muungano huo Mheshimiwa Katibu haujafutwa wala haujabatilishwa sheria. Kwa Mheshimiwa Spika, haiwezekani kwamba sheria hii ya vyama ambayo tuliipitisha juzi tu katika bunge hili inaweza kuwa dharauliwa, inaweza kunajisiwa, wakati sisi ambao maseneta ambao tulipitisha sheria hiyo tuko hapa. Mpaka sasa Mheshimiwa Spika, hakuja kuwa na talaka baina ya chama cha UDM na muungano wa Azimio. Kwa hivyo uwepo wao katika muungano wa Kenya Kwanza, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kinyume cha sheria, na sisi kama bunge la Senate hatuwezi kukubaliana na swala hili. Mheshimiwa Spika, kiongozi wa chama hicho Mheshimiwa Senator Roba yuko hapa na ni Muislamu, na najua kwamba sikia, ni haramu Mheshimiwa Spika kwamba bibi ya mtu aende kwa bwana mwingine bila kuwa na talaka. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
A point of order. Honorable senators, we run the risk of the sitting degenerating into matters which are not at the present time, before the floor. Honorable senators, the matter I allowed Senator Faki to speak to, the matter he has spoken to, I will deal with it, I think, summarily. In terms of where the honorable senators are sitting, I draw attention to Standing Order number 255, about sitting in the chamber, and it makes it clear that any senator can sit in, at any place in the chamber, with the exception of certain seats which are reserved for the Deputy Speaker, the Majority Leader, the Minority Leader, and senators with disabilities. So at this time, the matter of where you sit in the chamber is not one that is an issue. It is open to any senator to sit on either side, if you so choose. The matter of political parties and coalitions, the business we have at the present time is a business of the election of the Speaker. Under Standing Order number 6, this is an election by secret ballot. The matter of political parties and political affiliation will not come in issue at all for the purposes of the election. In the manner that I am going to explain, we will have an election in which the ballot boxes will be here and the ballot papers will be given, and the election will proceed and we will count accordingly. I am unfortunately unable to entertain further points of order now. It is appropriate. Honorable Senators, any senator who does not at this time have a copy of the CVs?
Mr. Clerk, the business that we are about to undertake is very important. All the senators who are in this House went through a very rigorous vetting process before we were cleared by IEBC to run for our respective elective seats. Mr. Clerk, I've just raised a point of order, and you have directed that I be supplied with the CVs of all the candidates whom we are about to elect as our Speaker. And I want to thank you that your order has been complied with, and I've now been given 6 CVs. But what is worrying me, Mr. Speaker, and I seek the direction of your office, is that the CVs have been given don't have very critical Chapter 6 clearances. Mr. Speaker, before we proceed to elect somebody to sit in that office, these CVs should be accompanied by clearance from Ethics and Corruption Commission. We need to know, if you don't respect Chapter 6, that's up to you. On this side, Mr. Clerk, the CVs that have been given, the CVs have been
Please,
given. They don't.
Honorable Senators, let us listen to Senator Kongo Mogeni in silence. Senator Kongo Mogeni, please conclude in 1 minute. Your point is made adequately.
Speaker,
in 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why my colleagues thrive in shouting. Listen to me. I'm raising a
Address the
serious
chair.
issue. If you don't respect integrity on that side,
Senator Mogeni, address the chair.
Mr. Speaker,
Address the chair.
Mr. Speaker, we cannot proceed to elect a speaker to sit in that office before we are satisfied as senators that they comply with Chapter 6. I expected, Mr. Speaker, that's why I raised a point of order that I needed to be supplied with CVs. I need to see a certificate from Ethics and Corruption Commission. We need to see clearance from KRA. We need to see a certificate of good conduct from DCI. Mr. Speaker, we cannot proceed, Mr. Speaker, Bwana Clerk, to elect a speaker to preside over a house of people who have complied with Chapter 6, whereas that speaker himself or herself has not complied. So I'm requesting, Mr. Speaker, that in addition to the CVs that have been provided to me or to our senators, we get all Chapter 6 documents, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I will allow one response or on this side, Senator Cheptumo, and then I must make a determination.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I think there is very clear deliberate action and intention, Mr. Clerk, to delay the proceedings of this House.
Senator Kajwang.
And I will explain.
Senator
I will
Kajwang, please resume
explain.
your seat.
I will explain. Mr. Clark, you had made a decision here that as we supply the CVs, the proceedings of the House will proceed. And I think, Mr. Clark, the satisfaction as to the qualifications, of who to run as a speaker is actually done before it is the business of the House. It is not for us, Mr. Clark, to come to this chamber and purport to be the ones to dictate the qualifications of who should be able to stand as a clerk. This was done
Resume your
before.
seat.
And so, Mr. Clark, I want to plead with you. Proceed with the proceedings of the House because you continue supplying the
Resume
CVs.
your seat.
Yeah.
Resume your seat. Resume your seat. Resume your seat. And I am making a determination. I am making a determination at this time. Senator Mogeni has raised the issue about the documentation that has been provided. Understanding order number 5, paragraph 5, which he himself had cited. The office of the clerk is required to publicize and make available to all senators a list showing all qualified candidates, and 2, to make available to all senators copies of the curriculum vitae of qualified candidates. It is clear that the intention of this is so that the voters, the electors, can know the profile, the qualifications and the profile of the candidates. No particular format is prescribed by law for the curriculum vitae. The matter of eligibility and clearance is one under standing order number 5, which is vested on the office of the clerk to determine eligibility. And if there are concerns about eligibility, that can be the subject of petition otherwise than at the present time. At the present time, and by the time that we make a determination of those who are eligible, that decision has been made, and it is not the case that clearances are part of a CV. The CV, as we understand it, and we certainly have not required that clearances be part of the CV. Any clearances that were required, and if or whether they were provided to the office of the clerk, is a matter for the office of the clerk to have made a determination before determining eligibility. That determination of eligibility having been made, the curriculum vitae having been provided, the curriculum, and any senator who does not have copies of the curriculum vitae, honorable senators, it should not be the case that any senator is asked to leave the chamber on the day of the first sitting. May I request that if there is any senator who has not received a copy of the curriculum vitae, if you could please raise your hand so that we provide this at this time. No. No. Please. Honorable Senator, I have made a determination which I would like to be complied with. Please. Do not speak until you are provided the opportunity, please. We are providing all senators. Senator Cherarke, please. We want to provide all senators who do not have copies of the CVs to be provided with. At this time, this is the only business which I am dealing with, which is the provision of curriculum vitae. Honorable senators, at this time, no. There is no other ruling, there's no other point of order that I'm entertaining at this time. Any senator who does not have a copy of the curriculum vitae, please. No, I'm afraid we are providing copies of the curriculum vitae. This is the only business. No. Senator Shakila. Senator Shakila. Please provide curriculum vitae to Senator. Honorable senators, we have concluded the business of the administration of oath and affirmation of office. We will be proceeding to the next business, which is the election of the